He's been gone for 2 years. The building is still open. People work there every single day. None of them know what's above them. Marcus Webb was a security guard. He worked the night shift alone for 6 months. On his last night, the elevator took him somewhere that wasn't on any blueprint. He found a note on the desk, 4 words. He hasn't spoken about that night to anyone since. This is what was on it. Marcus Webb was not a man who lived in his own head. 31 years old, former Army with 2 tours overseas, he was trained to observe physical reality with cold, clinical precision. In October 2022, he started at the Aldrich Corporate Center in Columbus, Ohio. It was a standard 11-story glass and concrete box. For 6 months, Marcus worked the overnight shift alone. His routine was ironclad. Walk all 11 floors, check every door and stairwell, and return to the lobby monitors. He found the job peaceful. After Kandahar, the silence of a dental supply distributor at 3 a.m. was a relief. He knew the building's layout by heart. He knew every flicker in the lights and every creak in the pipes. For 182 nights, the building never surprised him. Marcus was grounded, experienced, and deeply tethered to the world as it is. That is what makes the incident report he filed at 3:17 a.m. on his final shift so difficult to categorize. On March 14, 2023, the routine broke. During his 2:30 a.m. patrol, Marcus reached the 10th floor and looked toward the elevator bank. One of the cars was moving. The display showed it ascending to 11, and then it clicked over to 12. Marcus knew the blueprints. The Aldrich building stopped at 11. He assumed the old electrical system was glitching and continued his patrol up the stairs to the top floor. He reached the 11th floor landing and looked up. Instead of the concrete ceiling that had been there for 6 months, there was a new half-flight of stairs. At the top was a standard industrial push-bar door. His radio was dead. His phone had no signal. Marcus Webb made a tactical decision. He climbed the stairs, pressed the bar, and stepped onto a floor that didn't exist. The hallway Marcus described was 60 feet long, but the Aldrich building is a square. This corridor extended well beyond its exterior walls. The carpet was the same gray-blue, but worn thin, as if decades of traffic passed through a space that only just appeared. Every office door was shut, their blinds tightly closed. Except for one. Halfway down the hall, Marcus found an open office. Inside, a computer monitor was active, showing a live security feed of the lobby. It was focused directly on his own empty security desk. Resting on the keyboard was a sticky note in neat blue block letters. "You have been here before, you just don't remember." As he read the note, a sound came from behind the closed blinds in the hallway. 3 slow, deliberate knocks. Marcus didn't wait for a third set. He retreated to the stairwell, and by the time he reached the 11th floor, the door and the stairs had vanished back into a solid concrete wall. The presence of the live feed and the personalized note suggests that the 12th floor wasn't a random spatial anomaly. It was a space aware of Marcus's presence, and it had prepared for his arrival. Marcus filed his report and immediately resigned. He didn't ask for a reference, he just left. Supervisor Gerald Ortiz investigated the next day. While he only found concrete where Marcus described stairs, he later reported seeing the lobby elevator display cycle to floor 12 before opening its doors to an empty car. Marcus's girlfriend, Priya, noted that he was different when he got home. He wasn't shaking or fearful. He was detached. He would sit in silence, staring at the walls as if he were waiting for a door to appear in their apartment. The most disturbing detail came from Marcus's very first morning back. Before he had explained anything, he told Priya the voice behind the blinds on the 12th floor had whispered a name. It wasn't his name. It was hers. The encounter followed Marcus home. The anomaly had moved from the physical architecture of the office building into the personal lives of the people who knew the story. It's easy to dismiss this as a psychological break, but that doesn't account for Gerald's elevator display or the physical evidence in the incident report. It suggests a phenomenon where physical space can become distorted under the right conditions. Some believe the 12th floor is always there, but it only becomes accessible to those who have become a permanent fixture of the building's overnight routine. Marcus Webb vanished in early 2024. Shortly after, Derek Shawn, the podcaster who interviewed Priya, went silent. His final episode discussing the Aldrich building cuts off mid-sentence and was never finished. Currently, the Aldrich Corporate Center has changed its security protocols. The management company now uses a rotating contract, where no guard stays at the building for more than 7 nights in a row. While companies often rotate staff for administrative reasons, the implementation of a strict weekly cap after 6 months of stable shifts is a specific response. It effectively ensures that no one remains in the building long enough to establish the kind of routine Marcus had. The Aldrich building is still open. People work there every day, taking the elevators and walking the halls, completely unaware of what the security guards found in the early hours of the morning. Derek Shawn attempted to document the mechanics of the floor, and his work ended abruptly. If you ever find yourself working late in an empty building, pay attention to the elevator. If it stops on a floor that shouldn't be there, stay inside. Marcus listened to the building for months. Derek Shawn broadcasted the details to the world. Now those same details are in your head. And as we've seen, once you know what to look for,